Ilara Voss stands at the cliffside quarry as the dawn ignites the city of Erethen below, a metropolis that worships power in every glowing billboard and thundering foundry. She can feel that hunger in her own chest, the aching desire to carve a masterpiece so commanding it will silence the critics who call her work gentle and unfinished. The new commission from Minister Rydell promises prestige and security, but the contract whispers a deadline that slices the promise in half. 1 week. Power loves velocity. She presses her thumb into Rydell's wax seal while breath fogs morning air and marble dust halos the ledger table her apprentices dragged to the quarry rim. Cedar scaffolds groan above the pit, pulleys whining like bells. Accepting the contract feels like lifting an anvil. Its 1 week clause ticks loud as a metronome no wind drowns. Night falls and a rattling carriage bears her to Harvest Hall, a barn reborn under oil lamps and placards promising mechanical wonders. Patrons cheer an automaton whose iron arms carve busts before ink dries. Helion's whisper cuts through the roar. Storms devour sculptors who chase thunder. Ilara smiles, yet the applause hitches to her breathing. Dawn finds her in the barn studio, pine walls damp with dew and hay mingling with stone. Mira and Tom unveil the pantograph rig bought on credit. Steam kettle, leather belts, jointed iron hand obedient to her guiding stylus. The contraption vows to translate her sketches into marble at the speed Erethen demands. She feeds coal to the boiler, guides the stylus along a clay shoulder, and watches steel teeth bite marble. Lantern light paints shards silver while the statue rises with reckless grace. Then belts whip, the arm judders, and hairline cracks feather across the stone. Mira begs for patience. Ilara, drunk on velocity, orders the fire higher. By midweek, the figure dazzles at a glance and wilts up close. She inks grooves, captures the pose on a glass plate, and sends it by carriage to Rydell. In the telegraph hall she lifts a magic lantern, casting the image across a whitewashed wall. Envoys applaud the illusion, their praise clattering like coins on oak. When the lamplight dies, the statue leans on a trembling base, fractures sighing wider with each cooling breath. She grazes the stone and feels ambition crumble. Outside, wagon wheels crunch frost. Power is a cliff edge sliding away. Silence settles like falling ash. The telegraph needle chatters, Mira reading, impressive power, Ilara. Deliver the final piece in 6 days. When the half-formed statue collapses overnight, splintering into shards that fill the studio with a chalky fog, Ilara finally hears Helion's warning. Power without patience, only tears. She kneels amidst the rubble, broom in one hand, sorrow in the other, drawing each splinter toward the door as dawn blushes the barn's timber beams. The air tastes of lime and cold, and every scrape of bristle over floorboards sounds like a confession. Fingertips follow the fragments, learning the story of each fracture, tracing the reckless strokes that betrayed her. Mira and Tom hover silent, their usual chatter pinned beneath shame. Ilara whispers apologies to stone, then stacks the shards like laid-to-rest bones. Boot steps crunch on frost outside, and Master Helen eases through the doorway, cap in hand, eyes soft as worn leather. He does not scold. He simply sets a cloth-wrapped rasp upon the table, its handle darkened by generations. "My grandmother carved by lamplight with this," he murmurs. "She told me patience is power that knows where to land." Ilara's hands shake as she unwraps it, feeling the slow weight of inheritance. The apprentices watch as she bows her head, accepting stillness like a vow. That night, lantern hooked to her belt, Ilara walks the rutted path to the quarry's silent maw. Crickets falter as she settles beside the fresh block, its face gleaming faintly under beeswax light. She opens her sketchbook, charcoal poised, and waits until her pulse matches the steady drip of distant spring water. Breathe in 4, release in 6. She studies the stone for an hour before daring a mark, mapping seams, listening for the hushed music of grain. Stillness gathers around her like a cloak. Night after night she repeats the ritual. 3 strokes, then a pause to feel warmth fade from the surface. Each pause births a new sketch, charcoal silhouettes pinned against the lantern glass. Mira and Tom learn to count with her, palms resting on the block to sense its breath. They fetch water slowly so the stone cools without shock, humming lullabies their mothers taught for harvest evenings. Progress measures itself in whispers, a curve softened, a hollow coaxed, a shoulder promising motion yet unspent. 4 days remain when Rydell's courier arrives, urging haste, but Alara only nods and returns to the measured rasp of metal on stone. At sunrise she unveils the wind's promise in the town square, its grooves catching light like river water. Admiring murmurs swell. She declines new commissions, inviting seekers to her patient focus circle tomorrow.